My name is Dennis Ekwere. I'm the Executive Director of Children and Young People Living for Peace, Nigeria. Yes, today we are having the first of its kind workshop organized in Kaduna with the theme Strengthening Access to Justice, the role of pro bono lawyers, the CSOs, and the media. It's actually timely because for years, workers' rights has been infringed. Workers' rights have been violated. But today, we came up to speak to it that workers have rights, employers have rights. The essence of our gathering is to make sure that we raise awareness about what the rights of employers are, what the rights of employees are, what are the duties of employers, what are the responsibilities of employees. We are here to discuss it and to speak to the issue of rights, right as a human being, right as a worker. Labor right is fundamental human right. Every human being have the right to work and work in a good condition. So these rights are the rights that we are talking about. How can we use the legal frameworks to advocate for this right? And that's why we are inside this room with pro bono lawyers, with CSOs, with the media, to brainstorm, to reason, to see how we can come together, advocate, begins to influence policies that will have great impact on the lives of Nigerian workers. And I believe as we begin today, it's a new vision, a new version of advocacy that we have started. And we believe at the end, it will be a win-win all for all those that we work for and we represent.
My name is Francis Danladi Koza. I'm a legal practitioner and I'm a member of the MB, Nigeria Bar Association Kaduna branch. Here, this morning, we had the opportunity to discuss about the rights of workers, generally, both internationally and locally. And the presentation was centered on the various laws and charters that deals with rights of workers. So there was just an exposition on those laws. But the greatest problem is localizing these laws, these rights to the Nigerian environment. And Nigerian environment, the worker is really handicapped because he lacks the ability to negotiate something more tangible for himself with his employer. And so if his inability to negotiate effectively, efficiently for his own benefit he will not be able to yield benefit from this quantum of rights that the laws have given him. And so starting point is, yes, these rights have been adumbrated, they have been not known to us. But the next question is, how do you localize, how do you bring these rights to the benefit of the ordinary Nigerian? There lies the challenge. And in Nigeria today, especially, you have big organizations that are still casualizing staff. Big organizations that are making millions and billions turnover, they are still casualizing staff. This is most unjust. So the worker need to understand this, that if a big organization, I don't want to mention names, but we all know them, either in the telecommunication industries, the entertainment industries, and so on. You have these big workers, these big organizations that are making billions on a daily basis, and yet their staff are casual staff. We have banks that have casualized staff, and so on and so forth. These things are not right. And I think the Nigerian workers should come to terms with this and be able to fight to change the scenario. Government should come in to also help the Nigerian by ensuring, by bringing in more legislation that will, at least in those big organizations, they will banish or abolish or outlaw casualization of staff. This will help us as a country and as a people. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Mrs. R.I. Abdullahi. I am the State Coordinator, Legal Aid Council. what we do in Legal Aid Council is we mainly represent the indigent people of the society. Though our act has been improved to even represent those that are not less privileged but require our services as it is their constitutional rights. So we are here on workers' rights, which is mainly what we do in legal aid. We have a lot of cases, especially here in Kaduna, that we get referred to from the industrial court. So we have defended workers on if their employers have taken them to court from the start to the finish, and then we have instituted matters on behalf of indigents in the industrial courts, and we have gotten positive judgments. So, as discussed, these laws are there. It's just the implementation. We have beautiful, 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 beautiful laws in Nigeria, but it's the implementation. Either we don't have the guts, or we are afraid, or there are restrictions. And even if you want to, and the Nigerian bureaucracy, the impunity, because you might get judgment in your favor today, you might write letters and you get favorable responses, but there are superiors that would clear you out of the way for doing the right thing. So there is the fear, there is the impunity. I think some of us are aware of these laws, most of us, because some of us even defending these laws, you know that your right has been infringed upon, but you are like, if I do something about it, I might end up, the little change I get, I might end up not getting it. So you'd rather keep quiet. So the main thing is implementation. And as we said, this awareness campaigning. I think when we keep on hammering, and empower people to say no, to say, okay, if certain rights have not been met, if your expectation has not been met when you're employed, then you should have the right to speak up and damn the consequences. If the Nigerian society will work, I'm sure everybody will be able to say what he or she wants to say.
Okay. My name is Yusuf Ismaila. I'm the State Director of Public Complaints Commission, and I'm here because I've been invited to come and part of the event. And so far, it has been good. We've been able to hear a lot of facilitators talking about the right of citizens and how to protect it. And that is what we have been doing as an organization. As far back as 1975, the Public Complaints Commission was established, basically because of the increased activity of government because of the oil boom. And as a result, workers' rights needs to be protected. And far down the line, the Commission has been able to achieve a lot. But what I will say, and in particular to this one, it's just the collaboration that we require among all other stakeholders, both the pressure group like the young and the children and young people, exactly, and then organizations established to protect citizens' rights too. What I have seen so far, the National Human Rights Commission, the Legal Aid Council, and other organizations, those laws are provided to safeguard the rights of citizens. However, we need to have a formidable, force to ensure that those rights are being enforced. So this is short and simple of what I tell you.
I am Mrs. Lillian Ilechuku. I am a lawyer practicing here in Kaduna. I am here under the auspices of Nigerian Bar Association, Banawa branch, Kaduna. It's quite an interesting topic that you have here today. Strengthening access to justice for the Nigerian workers. I think the first thing we need to consider here is whether the Nigerian workers can identify situations where they need justice. Do they even know their rights? Do they even know the things they are entitled to as workers? You see, the prevalent unemployment situation in this country has made it so that workers go for anything. Whatever condition they are given, they take it without dissecting it, without knowing whether it's going to favor them or not. workers take anything from their employers. They believe, or they are brainwashed, or how do I put it? They are emotionally blackmailed into believing that they are at the mercy of their employers. It's the desperation. That's why I said, because of the prevalence of unemployment in the country, people go for whatever they see, no matter how unfavorable the conditions they are given are. They pick it, and that has exposed workers to a lot of hazards and a lot of inhuman treatments. It is only when it gets to the very extreme that they will start looking for legal advice or legal protection. But you will discover that, once they are pushed to the wall, they take it. Instead of losing this job, let me go by whatever is obtainable. And in Nigeria, for instance, we've lost workers, lost professionals, by way of death, or what I may call brain drain, migrating to places where they will have greener pastures because of the kind of treatment they are receiving in this country. The moment some of them get better offers outside the country, they quickly grab it and they quickly leave. That is even the better aspect of it. It is as bad as the country having lost professionals. We've lost medical doctors who went into some sections not insisting on their right of protective gadgets, and they would contact one virus or the other, and at the end of the day, lives will be lost. The organizers, the thing I think the organizers of this event should do is to take a step further in getting professionals into workshops like this, so that rights of workers will be disseminated. People will get to know of their rights as workers. Involve trade unions. You have Nigerian Union of Journalists, you have Nigerian Medical Association, you have Nigerian Union of Teachers. You get stakeholders in these unions. You educate them on what their rights are. Rights to breaks, rights to holidays, rights to leaves, and things like that. And then educate them on what to do when such rights are violated. When they get to know of the existence of such rights, they will be able to identify when such rights are violated. And then they should also be educated on what to do and how to access legal services and justice when such rights are violated.
My name is Oyaifo Abdulgani. I represent International Society for Peace and Safety, CSOs, an organization that works with young people to educate them in peace, safety, and human rights. And we do this through schools, communities, and the workplace. Why do we come to this position we are today? We come to this because we are part of the working environment. And we find out mostly in construction industry and also in private security. Let's say every Nigerian workers faces issue of workers' rights violations. So, and because of that, again, myself as a victim who have experienced how you can be employed as a permanent staff, they along the line, they will disconnect you and make you a contract staff. The reason for this is just for the organization to cut you off of the benefits so that you will not be able to receive those benefits. Benefits like your 13 months pay, like your pension benefit, insurance, so many others. And at the end of the day, this become an issue, mostly in the construction industry, and sometimes you will be terminated without actually know why you are being terminated. And when this is done, there is no a place most times to seek justice. So the first thing we now decide to do was, why don't we make sure we have something or anything that could be able to enlighten the workers about their rights, because we understand that what you know is what you are. If workers know their rights, and once these rights are being violated, probably they will be able to know what to do. So first we said, okay, we have to reach out to see how workers could be able to know their rights, and if this right is violated, areas they can go to seek justice. Also, for the employer themselves to know the rights of workers and what they too need to do for every workers. So in this regard, myself and Mr. Delis, who is also the head of CYPL, we reach out to a research law firm, which at the end of the day, they help us to do research regarding to workers' rights related to Nigeria, our national laws, regional laws, and international laws. They are along the line. That document has formed a book, which is the Guide to Workers' Rights in Nigeria. So what this means is every worker in Nigeria will be able to have this book to themselves, read it to understand their rights, and if this right is being infringed upon, they could be able to seek justice. Then what actually happened here today, we now meet with the researchers to say, okay, we have been able to reach out to create a network of pro bono lawyers, so that in case this any of the workers' rights is being infringed, there will be a place they can also go to seek justice. So today we brought different kind of organization, alternative dispute resolution, Federal Ministry of Work, pro bono lawyers, ADR, and every other stakeholder together here to share the ideas of what we have done, and also create a network of lawyers where workers can reach out to in case their rights be violated. I think those are what happened here today and what we have succeeded in doing. Again, we are going to launch the book itself on the Workers' Day, which is May 1st. So May 1st we'll be in Abuja to launch the booklet, whereby we will invite all the stakeholders, the union, the lawyers, and every other person to also be part of it. Thank you very much.